doctors?
Well, for the doctors and the management here, they see this to be some kind of communication lapses because that facility the regional minister was referring to was a new facility that is being put up to relocate all the affected doctors. But those facilities are not ready yet. Work is still ongoing. They are currently at about 85%, we are told by the regional minister.
Right.
And there's an interim arrangement that any affected doctor who is going to be relocated, there should be an apartment for that doctor. So this afternoon, we are learning that there's going to be a meeting between the management of the hospital, the doctors themselves, and also the officials from the Lands Commission and the Ashanti Regional Coordinating Council, so that they can deliberate on some of these interim measures.
Very well. Thank you so much. Hafiz Tijani is Ashanti Regional Correspondent, bringing us up to speed on what is happening at the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital. But let's listen to some of the stranded patients who came from outside the Ashanti region, and they have been lamenting the inconveniences caused by the strike.
I had an appointment today to meet the plastic surgeon. Unfortunately for me, when I came, he didn't come. I even heard the news this morning, so I decided to come and see whether it was true. When I came, it's true. They didn't come today. So they have given me another appointment to 3rd of next month.
But what did they tell you?
That I heard the news this morning that where they stay, they are evacuating there from. But I don't know. They need me to hear if any emergency, they can come here earlier. So we are vacating them from that place. So where the rest is supposed to go.
How has this affected you personally?
In fact, I was supposed to be at work this morning. I didn't go. I had an accident on Saturday night. They operated me and asked me to come here. They referred me to plastic surgery. I came here Monday. I booked an appointment today. They said I should come and see them today, but unfortunately when I came, they didn't come.
Someone says the doctor's cost like. I didn't know I'm a medium, cost like I'm so Omunya baby now. Into a more medium. I am free.
I came from I Am Free in Upper Dentra West. I got here and I was informed that the doctors are on strike because of accommodation issues. My brother is seriously ill and needs medical attention. What will I tell family members if we return without attention?
You heard some frustrated patients who visited the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital today. Meanwhile, the management of the hospital, we understand, is expected to meet the striking doctors and officials of the Lands Commission and the Ashanti Regional Coordinating Council later today. Kwame Frimpong is a public relations officer of the teaching hospital.
The firm assurance that we've gotten so far from the Regional Coordinating Council, from the Land Commission, and from the Redevelopment Committee of the Danyami area, is that the doctors will not be pushed out until alternative accommodation have been found for them. We met the doctors this morning and we are going to meet them again in the course of the day. And so, yes, those concerns have been raised. I don't think that they are worth resolving, and we've been engaging since yesterday. We believe that there is the possibility of the issues being resolved completely, given the firm assurances that we've received from the Lands Commission and then the Regional Coordinating Council.
Komfo-Anokye, you're supposed to attend to cases, emergency cases, I must say. Now that they are saying they are not attending to new cases, if any case comes, they direct the patients to look care from other facilities. Is Komfo-Anokye not concerned about this?
We are. Management is concerned, and that's why I told you this morning we met them so that they would continue to provide some level of care and not to unduly interrupt service delivery at this hospital.
Kwame Frimpong is the public relations officer at the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital. Let's move away from that story now. The National Task Force of the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, has issued a 3-day demand notice to the management of the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, popularly known as Ridge Hospital, to settle 42 million Ghana cedis debt accrued over a 1-year period. According to the ECG, failure to comply with the demand notice will result in negative consequences for the hospital. In a discussion with ECG officials, management of the Ridge Hospital clarified that they are not responsible for bill payments. Instead, they believe that the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Health should handle such payments. Here's a member of the ECG National Task Force, Stephen Labi.
It is in our record that 2 of your accounts is indebted. So we are here on 2 missions to inquire if there has been any payment which has been done that you don't have record of. Then we will briefly do a reconciliation and then get the balance, and then we put it on the demand notice, and then we'll deliver it for you. When we receive, then we will get a copy of the demand notice and then return it for our reporting. So basically, that's our mission here.
Stephen Labi is a member of the National Task Force of the Electricity Company of Ghana. Meanwhile, the hospital officials will not speak on record but hold the view that the cost will be transferred to consumers if government decides that the hospitals should pay their utilities. Moving on now, the price of kinky is going down. This is according to the Agric Minister, Brian Echampong. Through research, although research shows an increase in the price of kinky from 2 cedis to 5 cedis, the sector minister insists that an average of 600 grams of kinky is sold for 3 Ghana cedis. When pressed with contrary facts, the minister says other factors, including the price of, may influence the price of kinky.
There's indeed maize in the system, and that is why price of maize is not going up. And indeed, for the first time, you see that the price of kinky, which never happens, is actually going down.
No.
We
did the kinky. We read the kinky research. Kinky prices have consistently increased. The size has reduced. The price has increased from 2, 3 to 5.
You buy kinky from Kempinski and other places.
No. The guy did the research across the Greater Accra region. I even interviewed him. I've read the report.
We are on the ground. I have.
So what's the average bottle of kinky price in Accra? It's about 4 cedis.
The average is actually 3 cedis because you can get kinky for 2 cedis. No, I'm saying
even the cheapest place for kinky was Teshi, and Teshi you get kinky for 3. No, we did this study.
But I'm not here to argue about that. I can find you kinky for 2 cedis this afternoon.
I'm happy to eat it.
Okay, and I can get you kinky for 4 cedis. I can get you kinky for 5
And
cedis.
the size, what's the size of the 2 cedi ball?
But I'm saying we're talking about the average price of about 600 grams of kinky. Okay. And I'm saying that you can get that size depending on where you go. If you want boutique kinky, the price is different. If you want my mile 7 kinky, the price is different. But kinky price is averaging about 3 cedis, not 4 cedis. But if you look at the price of base, okay, kinky prices should have been
much lower.
But there are a myriad of factors that is causing that, and we intend to deal with it.
Well, Brian Echampong also indicated that he does not support efforts by the Ministry of Trade to restrict the importation of some 22 items. Speaking on the City Breakfast Show, Mr. Echampong says he believes in empowering local producers to enhance their production while encouraging importers to buy from local producers.
The solution is what we call infilling. The more you produce, you try and talk to the importers to now offtake from the producers in Ghana. I mean, look, I didn't really believe in that strategy of that was being proposed of just day one dealing with the imports.
So you didn't support import restriction ab initio?
I mean, look, I like the idea. It's a very, very good one, but we are not there yet. I believe that we have to produce enough, and then whilst we produce, we reduce the importation. Look, on poultry, during the Christmas last year, all the production that we catalyzed to happen we invited the importers to off-take from the poultry farm. That is why if you go to ShopRite and all those things, you saw Boris B chicken and other chicken made in Ghana. And so if we continue to put on that push that agenda and invite the importers to now off-take, they want to make money. And they want to make money from Ghana.
Brian Echampong is the Agric Minister. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News, where we return inflation for the month of February has recorded marginal decrease. Please stay for details.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
The month of March is Heritage Month on Citi FM and Citi TV, and we will be celebrating it in grand style with the theme Imagine Ghana, Discover the Unknown. We will discover the story of our people and customs, places, food, music, and fashion. Stay tuned to Citi TV and Citi FM every weekday to learn Guinean historical facts, heritage, and traditions with the on-air series on Breakfast Daily on Citi TV at 9:30 a.m. and on the biggest conversation on radio, the Citi Breakfast Show on Citi FM at 9 a.m. from the 1st to the 31st of March. The Heritage Month on-air series is proudly sponsored by Miss Cookie Spices. No peeling, no blending, just scoop and cook. Other exciting activities for the Heritage Month 2024 will include the evolution of High Life Music, a High Life Music expose on Citi TV and Citi FM, curated music on Brunch in the City on Citi FM, What's Cooking, special features on Citi TV, the Heritage Quiz on the Traffic Avenue on Citi FM. Catch the Heritage Caravan Diaries and Moments from the 3rd to the 10th of March on the Heritage Caravan. And the big one to crown the Heritage Month celebration, we will treat ourselves to delectable, authentic Ghanaian cuisine, music, dance, and many more at the Back to Your Village Food Festival from the 30th to the 31st of March 2024. Don't miss all the education, fun, and excitement on the Heritage Month 2024 this March, only on Citi TV and 97.3 Citi FM. The Heritage Month 2024 is powered by Citi TV with support from Citi FM.
Citi TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on channel 363. On GoTV, we're on channel 117, and on HD+, get us on channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search, but take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Citi TV. Citi TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and HD+ boxes. Citi TV, it's your world.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Let's do some other stories. Latest data from the Ghana Statistical Service indicates that inflation has dropped, with the February figure standing at 23.2%. The figure represents a 0.3 percentage decrease from the 23.5% recorded in January. According to the Consumer Price Index data released by the GSS, food and non-food inflation stood at 27.0% and 20.0% respectively. Here's the government statistician, Professor Samuel Kobna Enim, giving a breakdown of the figures at a press briefing in Accra.
The rate of inflation stood at 23.2%. This year-on-year rate of inflation signifies that over a one-year period, that is between February 2023 and February 2024, prices of goods and services have gone up by 23.2%. This 23.2% is a reversal of the marginal increase that we recorded in the month of January 2024, when the slowdown that we had successively recorded for the last 7 months saw a marginal increase to 23.5%. In reverse, we have turned around this increase for January 2024 to a reverse of 23.2% for the month of February 2024. From a food and non-food inflation perspective, food inflation for the month of February 2024 stood at 27.0, and non-food inflation for the month of February 2024 stood at 20.0%. From a regional perspective, the region recorded the highest rate of inflation of 36.1%, and this about 2.5 times higher than the region that recorded the lowest rate of inflation, which is the OT region, which recorded an inflation rate of 13.1%.
Professor Samuel Kobnai Enim is government statistician. Moving on now, the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, says it will seek legal action over the encroachment of its Pokwasi Amasama research site following the expiration of a 21-day ultimatum it gave the government to cease ongoing encroachment activities. In 2019, the institute lost a portion of its 400-acre land to the government for the construction of an affordable housing project. Speaking to Citi News, the chairman of the CSIR unit, Michael Amujisi, says recent encroachment activities by a private developer said to have the backing of the state has compelled his outfit to consider legal means of securing the property.
I contacted my management and they informed me on authority that nobody from the government side has contacted them on the issue. So we are in a quagmire and we intend to take these actions to make sure we get our land back. So that is the actions on the board now. We have planned a peaceful and lawful demonstration to court public sympathy, to draw public attention to our plight and subsequently seek legal redress at the local. And it is now at the planning stage. But these two actions are lawful in trying to redeem yourself in an illegality in the country. So that is what we want to do as the union chairman. We are in concert with management on that idea for their tacit approval for us to do the actions that we plan to undertake. Because we need to seek police protection and we need to notify them at least for 5 clear days before we do that. Because the government is adamant, we will not do anything. If not doing anything, nobody has contacted us. So if you don't take any action, I think we will be the loser. So that is why we want to take those actions as well.
You heard Michael Amujisi. He's chairman of the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research Union. Now, the coalition of law associations is debunking claims by the Ghana Armed Forces that there are ongoing discussions by a committee set up by the Lands Ministry to deliberate and resolve a land dispute between the military and the La Traditional Council. This follows a statement from the military indicating ongoing deliberations and the lack of directives to release the disputed lands. But the association asserts that a conclusive decision has already been reached. In light of these developments, the spokesperson for the association, Jeffrey Tete, says he is baffled at the military's sudden change of their stance on the matter.
We realized that the issues that the military put out there were false information and that it wasn't true that there was still an ongoing process, but that at that time the process had concluded. The people of La had been given their portion of the land. The military, together with the traditional authorities, the land commission, and every stakeholder involved, had gone onto the land, and together, jointly, they have mounted pillars to demarcate which part of the land belongs to the La people and which one had been given to the military. There are prominent people within the Ghana Armed Forces who were part of the committee that did the work, based on which fact the land was released to the people of La. And so there's a signed list from government to the people of La, which the military is aware. So we don't understand why the military came out with that statement.
That was spokesperson of the coalition of law associations, Jeffrey Tete. Moving on now, the president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, says the recent visa waiver agreement between Ghana and South Africa has led to a significant increase in air travels between the two countries. Mr. Ramaphosa says the move has also increased trade volumes between the two countries. Speaking at a meeting with President Akufo-Addo at the second session of the Binational Committee in Johannesburg, South Africa, President Ramaphosa says the agreement has been positive.
One of the recent highlights in our bilateral relations was the signing of the reciprocal visa exemption for ordinary passport holders for a period of 90 days per annum, which entered into force on the 1st of November 2023. This has resulted in a considerable increase of travelers between our two countries, contributing not only to tourism, but towards enhancing business-to-business links, educational and scientific exchanges, and people-to-people ties as well.
That was the president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa. The agreement, which was signed in November 2023, will allow both nationals stay in the host country for 90 days. President Akufo-Addo says this has deepened Ghana's relations with South Africa.
I'm reminded of the profound significance of our partnership and the boundless potential it holds for our two nations and people. Our current deliberations mark yet another chapter in our shared commitment towards nurturing a relationship built on trust, cooperation, and mutual respect. Under the binational committee arrangements, the two countries have also eliminated the visa barriers through the Visa Waiver Agreement, which came into effect on the 1st of November 2023, to enhance people-to-people engagement between the two countries for business as well as tourism. And like you, Mr. President, I'm impressed by the increase in the number of exchanges that are taking place between our two countries.
That was President Akufo-Addo. Away from that, a governance specialist, Professor Bafo Adjumandua, is advocating for the introduction of a new mechanism to disallow the executive from appointing heads of security agencies in the country. This follows a suit filed against the state by policy think tank, Imani Africa, and Professor Kwesi Enin over the appointment processes for leaders of uniformed security agencies. The petitioners are seeking an injunction to prevent future presidents from dismissing agency heads without just cause. Speaking to Citi News, Professor Bafo Adjumandua believes putting independent bodies in charge of the appointments of security agencies will address their perceived political affiliations.
If it is possible for us to create a new mechanism, for instance, we can say, look, the police council should be responsible for these appointments or promotion in the police council. Now, of course, it goes through them, but ultimately it's the president who signs on. But if the law or the regulation were to be such that once the police council makes a decision, it doesn't have to be vetted by the president, then we take politics out of it. So the idea of politicizing this is not in our best interest, that a new president comes and all of a sudden people who have been building their careers over the years on no grounds of whatever, these people are displaced. I don't think that's a fair deal for them.
Professor Bafo Adjumandua is a governance specialist. Away from that, the African Union High Representative for Silencing the Guns and member of the AU High-Level Panel, Dr. Mohammed Ibn Chambers, has called on the Electoral Commission to diligently adhere to election deadlines as stipulated in its calendar ahead of the upcoming general elections. He made the remarks when he spoke at the commemoration of the 25th anniversary of the West African Network for Peace Building, WANEP. Ibn Chambers believes that the pending by-elections due to the Ejiso MP John Kuma's passing presents a perfect learning point to practice professional electoral conduct ahead of the elections in 2024.
Elections scheduled in December, and I think we all heard the president loud and clear during the State of the Union message indicating that those elections will be held on time. That's the way that we want things to happen. Deadlines should be respected. We have had opportunity for a number of by-elections. Unfortunately, due to the untimely death of Deputy Minister of Finance, John Kuma, another by-election may be upon us. Indeed, it's upon us. And that would be a good testing ground for the electoral process. The last one went very smoothly, and I think all political actors, political parties themselves, civil society, etc., were pleased.
That was the African Union High Representative for Silencing the Guns and member of the AU High-Level Panel, Dr. Mohammed Ibn Chambers. And that's it for Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studio at Adabraka in Accra. For more news, please visit citinewsroom.com. My name is Ajwa Tinkrama. Thank you so much for your company. Have a good afternoon.
Citi News, we speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302-224959 and get interactive on Facebook, Citi 97.3 FM, and on Twitter at Citi 973.